bet you thought we were gone, but the rumors of our demise have been greatly exaggerated. Electric Gold is back. I'm Ryan. I'm here with John. I'm here with Evan. We haven't gone anywhere. We're right here. We're right here in Nashville, enjoying the summer. Guys, how you been? It's been a while since we've done this. How's everyone doing?
I've been great. The team has played so well. They've been so awesome. Summer has just been flowing.
Sure. Evan, how about yourself? How you been?
Man, been well. Thanks for asking. Missed you guys, though, and really excited to be back. And rumors of our demise greatly exaggerated. We are back and better than ever.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, yeah. Looking forward to this home stretch and wrapping up the season and doing it in incredible fashion. Even if the team isn't, we will be.
That's right. That's
we'll
right.
Be there. Yep.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. We had some scheduling conflicts that made it difficult for us to record in the past few weeks. But I was also highly unmotivated to continue talking about this team losing over and over again.
It's really hard.
I'm just going to be brutally honest with you. It was tough. At this point, we have now lost 8 games in a row across all competitions. It's been brutal. We're going to get into all of that, but I just wanted to kind of give our audience an idea of why we've been gone. It's been more about the fact that we actually have real lives and have things going on more than anything else. But
speak for yourself.
But also, you know, it was just, it was a depressing time. I'm feeling a little rejuvenated now.
Yeah.
And I'm ready to get back at it. Before we get into anything regarding the team, though, let's talk about our favorite part of the podcast, everybody's favorite part of the podcast, and that's what beer you're drinking.
Yes.
So, Evan, tell me, what are you drinking today?
All right. Well, I am drinking a Harp Lager today.
Ooh.
I'm mixing things up a little bit here. This is one I had left over from a little Irish pub party that I threw for my brother from another mother, Ben, before he and his gal went to Ireland. They went for the first time, had a great time, and we threw a little party. But Ryan, you're wearing an Opryland t-shirt, and so that makes me actually connect another dot. And I don't know if you guys go or went in the past, but are you aware of the Irish pub at Opryland Hotel, Findley's?
Yes. Mm-hmm. They've been there a while.
Been there a long time. I haven't been in a while. I kind of stopped going because they weren't doing live music as much, but they used to really do a lot of good live music. And they had this thing that I loved to pair with my Harp Lager back then called the Pale O Sausage. Did you guys ever go and have their Pale O Sausage?
I'm intrigued.
No. It sounds like the perfect meal.
It was the perfect meal. It was one of those like metal buckets full of, like home style potato chips and slices of cooked smoked sausage, and then these deep fried sausages on a stick.
Oh.
And, you had all the good dipping sauces and everything. And it was the perfect appetizer and pairing with a harp.
My God, that sounds amazing. Sounds like the kind of really great stuff we used to eat 15, 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah. I can't eat it anymore. Yeah.
That's fantastic. And the beer sounds terrific as well.
Oh, yeah.
John, what are you drinking?
So I've got a very special one for us today.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the first time I'm doing this. You see that I've got the stein here.
Yeah.
Ooh.
This is the Golden Cub by a super local brewery called Koval Brewery. Yes.
No way.
This was home brewed by our friend and rules analyst, Dr. Joey.
Yeah.
And I have not taken a sip. I'm going to try it for the first time right now. So if I die, this is on you, Joey.
Yeah.
But here goes.
Good luck.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Oh, wow.
It's so good.
Great.
Joey, this is a great
Joey.
beer. Yeah, this is fantastic. It's kind of a golden ale. It's got kind of fruity notes.
Yeah, it's kind of a darker color, like an amber color there.
Yeah, it's a good Belgian, German type beer. Joey, this is awesome. In the future, dear listeners, if you homebrew, just know that I will try it live on our podcast.
Send us your beer.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, I'm drinking a seasonal brew out of Highland Brewing, which is based in Asheville, North Carolina. We all know Asheville, big tourist destination.
Yeah.
The Biltmore, blah, 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 Smoky Mountains.
Craft beer capital.
Yeah, they've got a lot of craft breweries there that are pretty interesting. Highland makes just a few different ones, and this one is their cerveza, their lime lager. So it's a Mexican-style lager, malty, crisp, hint of lime, delicious. It's a perfect summer beer, so I'm glad to be drinking that today. It's only a seasonal thing. You only can get it for a few months during the summer is the only time that they make it. So lucky to be drinking it today with you guys. Cheers to you.
Cheers,
boys.
All right, guys, we've not done this in a few weeks, so normally we would do a week in review, but we've got a lot to catch up on. So this is going to be a several weeks in review. Nashville SC wrapped up MLS play before the break with back-to-back 3-0 losses, first to Orlando at home and then to Philadelphia on the road. This stretch also concluded Ruben Monthali's service as interim manager for the club. These games also capped a 6-game losing stretch for the boys in gold dating back to late June, with losses to Miami, Columbus, Portland, DC, and then Orlando and Philly, making their summer a dismal one indeed, and plunging the team to a record of 6 wins, 11 losses, and 8 draws, and leaving them in 12th place in the Eastern Conference. Yeah, that's just a joyful little thing to be celebrating. The boys in gold look to capture some of that Leagues Cup magic, though, that they tapped into last season when they faced off against Mazatlan on July 31st. This also marked the debut of new coach BJ Callahan, and hopes for a turnaround for the team were high. Australian international Patrick Yazbek, who signed from Viking FK of Norway's top professional league on July 22nd, also made his Nashville SC debut. The midfielder started and played all 90 minutes plus added time. Alas, the turnaround was not to be, though. While the team held on for a scoreless tie through the first half, they quickly conceded 2 goals to the lowly Mazatlan just after the break, and they never threatened much afterwards. Their 2-0 loss meant that the next Leagues Cup game would be a win or go home situation for NSC. And in that situation, the boys in gold would eventually land on the go home option. They faced off against the New England Revolution in Boston, and in the 3rd minute, the Revs put a ball into the net and the boys in gold were on their heels. In the first half stoppage time, though, Jacob Schaffelberg took a ball down the left side and provided a tremendous cross in front of the goal that Patrick Yazbek one-touched back to the middle, where an attacking Sam Surridge deftly converted the pass into the goal. The second half featured Nashville as the aggressor for most of the time, but the match ended in a draw, thus sealing Nashville's elimination from Leagues Cup tournament. A 5-4 loss on penalty kicks just put salt in the wound. One notable bright spot was the debut of Mexican under-23 international Jonathan Perez, who was acquired on loan via trade with the LA Galaxy on July 30th and entered the game in the 77th minute. And there you have it, guys. It's been a rough couple of months for our boys in gold. I'm still a huge fan of this team. I still love them. I still love to watch them. Well, yeah. I don't know if I should say love. I still will watch them and support them and cheer them on. But it's been tough sledding. That's all I got to say. So they had their little winning pop back, I don't know, maybe May.
We had like 2 wins in a row at one point, and it was like, whoo, we are flying.
We were getting excited. We got up to 6th or 7th place in the Eastern Conference, and there was just a moment there where I think we kind of felt like, oh man, the leaves have turned. We're going to be able to actually slide into playoffs and have a decent season.
And then Walker Zimmerman hit the Olympics.
That's exactly right. Once he left, all things came crashing down. But even before he left, we started this losing streak. You know, he was present for the losses against Miami, Columbus. I think he was in the Portland game, if I remember correctly. And that one we lost 4-1. It was in that early July timeframe when he left the team to go to the Olympics. And he did score in one of our Olympic games, which was a nice feather in his cap. But yeah, it's just been a tough road for the team. Do you guys have any general thoughts about what we're looking at now? Of course, now we have a new coach. We've got a couple new players on the roster. I don't know about this season, But as we look at where this team is now, when we start looking to the future, do you guys have some thoughts about just where we stand at this point, John?
Yeah, I think for the rest of the season, the ideal situation for us would be to get as many young players as many minutes as possible. Let BJ look at what he's working with. I got a feeling that a whole lot of the veterans that have the contract coming up at the end of the year will not be with us next year. And that's probably for the best. I mean, look, I think we hit our limit. We had a few great seasons, one in particular in 2021. We never really built from there. We never landed, some big signing that would be the Robin to Hani Mukhtar's Batman or Walker Zimmerman or whatever. So it's time to start over. And BJ Callahan has a track record of working with young players really well. That's why we hired him, I believe, because he was the player development coach at Philadelphia Union, who produced a ton of good players all the time. And then I think that's what he was doing with the U.S. national team. A lot was working with the younger players. So let's see the young guys. I want to see the Jonathan Perez. I want to see, obviously, Yazbek actually looked really good in the New England game to me. I want to see young guys on the field. We know what the veterans can do at this point. Let's move on.
Sure. What about you, Evan? Any general thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with John there. We were only surprisingly 2 points off a playoff spot. But even if we were to somehow start play a little bit better and sneak into the playoffs, we're not probably going to go very deep. So I think maybe the approach is to just go ahead and accept the fact that this is almost like a second season, this year, if you will, just time to build it all back up again. And yeah, it's going to be built on the backs of newer, younger players. Like John said, we know what we've got in some of these veterans. We got a lot out of some signings like Godoy or Lovitz or whoever, but these guys seem to have peaked and don't see them really coming back. So yeah, I think it's time to go and see what we've got and start building for the future.
We have 17 players with contracts that expire at the end of this year.
Yeah, that's a lot.
A lot. And so this is a great opportunity. Again, there's no pressure on this team because I think the expectations are gone for any sort of achievement postseason wise. And so BJ Callahan, basically, he's got plenty of runway here to just experiment, try stuff out, play different players, play different combinations, see who gels, see who works together, see what combinations of players work well together. Let me just read off the people whose contracts expire at the end of this season. I'd love to just kind of maybe do lightning round with you guys and hear, should we keep or should we get rid of them?
All right.
We'll go by in order of their contract amount. Okay. So we'll start with the people who have the smallest contracts, who are going to be probably more of the younger guys, and then we'll get up to the veterans by the end. So the lowest tier, they make just the bare minimum rookie contracts or whatever. The first would be Julian Gaines, who I don't think we've seen in a game this year. So he's 21 years old, right back. Any opinion?
Keep him for Huntsville at least. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And he could be depth.
Next would be Joey Skinner, and 21 years old, left back.
Keep.
Yeah. Again, not a person we've seen on the field at all.
He did play at the end of one game.
One game. Yeah, that's right. Okay. And next is going to be Forster Ajago.
Oh, keep. Yeah. That guy's got some spark about him. He's very raw, obviously, but yeah, you can tell when he comes into a game, he at least gets in the mind of opponents, and that's good. Center
forward, 22 years old. If we re-sign him, we're definitely not getting him on the cheapest possible contract like he is right now. So we will have to spend a little bit more money on him probably. All right, next tier of contracts, and they're just a little bit more. But then the next group is going to include Amar Sejic, 27 years old, midfielder.
Drop.
Okay.
Keep.
A little bit of disagreement here.
He's not a game changer, but he is solid. And 27, he still might have a little bit left in him.
So I said drop because obviously he hasn't impressed any of our three coaches this year enough to get a starting job. and he never got that starting job with Atlanta before he joined us either. Maybe keep him for depth, but don't pay him much.
Right.
And I find that kind of a little bit, I don't know, I'm a little bit confused by it because I feel like of our defensive midfielders, he's been one of the best performing ones all year, right?
He does look good on the field when he comes in, but I have to believe that he might be the worst practice player of all time.
Must be.
or like he has no stamina. Like they know that he can only do 30 minutes tops.
Okay, gotcha. Next is someone we've seen a lot of, Brent Coleman, 33 years old, center back. What do you think about this? Drop? Okay, John?
Yeah, let him go. I mean, he's probably a good locker room guy. So maybe if we are with a whole bunch of young ones, maybe keep him as dad.
Again, a depth pickup if we can get him cheap. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the last person in this range of salary is Ben Martino, our third string goalkeeper. He is 21 years old.
Keep.
Drop.
Oh.
You haven't seen 1 minute of him play.
I know, but here's my instant logic is if he was good enough, he should already be competing with Panico for these second string opportunities, and he hasn't. Panico has opened that window, so he must not be that great.
I'm saying keep based solely on the thought that I have that Joe will not be here.
Okay, well, we're going to get to that in just a minute. So a little preview. Okay, so those three all made the same amount. Now, the next three have different contracts, and each one's a little bit more than the next. Each one is a little bit more than the one before them. Okay, next on the list, Josh Bauer, 25 years old, center back.
Keep.
See if someone else will buy him with a transfer.
Okay.
Any kind of GAM or anything that we can get out of him, because I've only seen him have one or two good games to me.
Okay. Fair enough.
I think he's a USL level player.
Okay, fair enough. All right. This next one's going to be interesting.
Hot takes!
It is.
Going early.
It's all hot takes tonight, guys. All right. This next one's going to be interesting. Our favorite, well, maybe not our favorite Canadian, but one of our favorite Canadians, Lucas McNaughton.
Keep.
29 years old.
I did not realize he was that old.
He's so good.
And he's gorgeous.
He's beautiful. Yeah.
And we're gonna need other reasons to get people back into the stadium.
That's right.
So.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. Yeah. Keep. He's a badass, man. I like that guy. Obviously, it's going to come down to how quickly he can recover from his injury, because that was a pretty bad one.
That might help in terms of the price we can get him for, though.
True. Yeah.
Because I would expect we would have had to pay him a lot more based on how he was playing, but maybe not now. We'll see.
Assuming he's healthy, he might be really motivated to go on, because he's in the stage of his career. If he's going to play for the Canada national team, now's the time to impress, buddy. They're obviously in the next World Cup. And so, yeah, I feel McNaughty will shine next year. Okay,
very good. And then the next in this range is Elliot Panico, 27 years old, our backup goalkeeper. What do you think?
Keep.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, consensus there. I'm kind of surprised, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, we know he has the problems with the distribution, but 27 is prime age for a goalkeeper. He's moving into the prime age for that. So, yeah, we give him a full-time starting job, and we'll see if he can handle it.
Okay, fair enough. So, Panico's annual salary is $114,000. So, everybody that we've mentioned so far makes less than that.
Wow.
We're going to draw a line right there.
Okay.
Because the next person is a tier unto themselves. They make more than double that. They've seen significant playing time, but they're kind of a middle tier because everybody else above them makes twice as much as this person. And of course, I am referring to the one and only Brian Anunga, now referred to as Ta Anunga for some reason. I guess that's his real name, but
yes.
for years we've been calling him Brian. Anyway, he makes $275,000. He is a center midfielder. He's 27 years old. And I think I know what you guys are going to say, but let's hear it. Should we keep or drop this guy?
Lifetime contract.
Oh,
Bobby
my
Bonilla,
gosh.
his ass.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
bless his heart.
entirely-
Drop him so fast. Drop him as fast as possible.
Yeah. This, I mean, go
He's
ahead.
been a faithful servant, and I think we all, obviously, we see him struggle, but I think we all kind of love him. He just keeps sticking to it. But yeah, let's let him go play for another professional soccer team.
Wherever Gary Smith ends up, I'm sure he'd be happy to have Brian Anunga join him.
Yes.
All right. So that was kind of like a middle range, again, tier 1 of 1. Everybody from here on out makes at least $500,000 or more a year. And again, we're going in order of their salaries. So the lowest in this upper echelon of player is Alex Muyl.
Woof.
Drop him.
28 years old, right winger.
Yeah, he's not getting any better.
Yeah. I've always thought, well, he's good to have around because you can stick him in any position. But it certainly seems like this year he's been worse than the median in every single position he could possibly play. Right? Like he's a bad backup right back. He's a bad backup right winger.
Yeah, and like as a Swiss Army knife like that,
Yeah.
then it almost gives you some sort of false sense of security in terms of depth at some really key positions, like maybe right back or whatever,
Yeah.
So he has definitely not contributed anything in any of those positions.
Oh, man.
I know. His main contribution is that he's really, really funny to watch.
He's hilarious. And, with John, we were texting during the New England game the other night. And during the penalty kicks, when it was all tied up 4-4 or whatever, and it's all resting on Alex Muyl's shoulders, and of course he punted it. I mean, just like totally muffed the kick.
I was laughing when I saw the camera turn to him. I was like, "Oh my god!" We picked him for number 5.
The guy, he has been unable to find the goal for, I don't know, like years, right? I mean, it's been unbelievable.
Yeah, like before the game, I don't know if you've watched him much in pregame target practice. The captain and I used to get our empanadas and come down and eat them, right there during shooting practice. And like if I looked down to take a bite, Liam would watch for me and vice versa. So we'd make sure we didn't get smashed in the face.
Right.
We had to stop doing that this season because Muyl was so inaccurate. We have to eat our empanadas up outside of our seats. So, yeah.
This is fascinating.
That's great.
Yeah, because Ryan and I are usually on the opposite end. We don't really get to see the NSC players taking the warm-up kicks.
Mm-hmm. Oh my
so,
God,
I find this fascinating.
Muyl he's just a danger to everyone around.
That's awesome. And completely on brand. So, okay.
Yeah.
So you guys are in consensus, then we're dropping Alex Muyl, right?
Let him go, but I will love him forever.
For sure. Okay.
For sure.
Next would be Drew Yearwood. Recent signing. We just signed him last December. He's 24 years old. Center midfielder. What do you think?
Keep.
Yeah, keep.
Yeah, he's been one of the few bright spots this season, hasn't he? He seems
Absolutely.
reliable. And he's young.
Yeah, he's steady. And God knows we need anybody in midfield that can play at all. So, yeah, keep.
Okay. Next is going to be Daniel Lovitz. Left back, 32 years old.
Drop.
Yeah, I didn't see myself saying this because I used to be a huge Lovitz fan, but boy, he has really fallen off this season. So, yeah, I think it's time to drop him.
Yeah, we can find a younger stand-in for that position.
The defense has really been in shambles. So I think since Gary Smith was canned, and that was always his specialty. And I don't know if Lovitz is suffering from the scheming or the coaching around the defense. Zimmerman's been in and out. That's been inconsistent. So I don't know if that's affected his play at all. But boy, I mean, we've allowed a lot of goals in the last month or two. It's been really uncharacteristic of Nashville soccer, and a lot of them have come on that left side. So maybe it's time to move on. He has been a incredibly reliable player for years, but if we're doing this, if we're blowing it up, let's blow it up, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, he was a U.S. international before he joined us.
Right. When
he was playing at Montreal, and can't see him playing for the U.S. anytime soon.
No way. No way.
Yeah, so I think he's on a downhill slope.
All right. This one's going to be interesting. Next on the list, and we're kind of getting into a little bit even higher of a tier. These folks all make $600K or more a season. And the first person on the list is Joe Willis, our starting goalkeeper. He is 35 years old. What do we do with Mr. Joe Willis?
I can't even form the word. See, I can't do it. So I'm just going to have to say keep. I love the guy. I got to keep this guy.
I do too. I would say keep if I don't know if we can get his contract down though. Like he would be a fantastic backup keeper at this stage, especially if we are going with Panico or if we found another young goalkeeper, because he'd be right over the shoulder. And I know just from the limited interaction I've had with him, the reason I said Ben Martino keep earlier, I had a run-in with Joe last year, and all he could talk about was how good Ben Martino was.
Oh.
You could tell that he has pride in his other keepers. He has respect for the position, and he would be a great backup / goalkeeping coach, which we do have a great goalkeeping coach right now in Matt Pickens. But that contract level, he might be a starter for another team, and I'm sure he wants to be a starter. So we might want to let him go if he's got another team locked up.
Do you think that he is responsible for the increase in opponents' goal scoring this past month or two? Does he have a part to play in this at all? Or is it because the defense been so weak?
I can't think of one single mistake that he's made. He may have made one, but I just can't think of any specific. And I can think of many, many really good saves and good positioning that he's made, even when his defenders did hang him out to dry. So, no, I cannot attribute any of this to him.
I differ for one game, the Mazatlan game. He made a ton of great saves in the first half that kept it at 0-0. And then both goals went in near side on him. That's like the fundamentals for goalkeeping. No near side goals. I don't know. Without him, we'd probably have lost several games 5 or 6-0. So, yeah, he's still doing the job. But it just might be time to look at someone younger.
I would agree with you guys. We should keep him if we can and aggressively pursue a young goalkeeper to build up, because I'm not sure that Panico's future. I don't know anything about Martino, if he's good or not, but we need to be aggressively looking, because we're going to have a very big problem at goalkeeper in the near future if we don't start thinking about it.
Yeah.
And I just want to put this out there. I mean, you guys both said you don't think it was mostly on Joe, but just a stat to consider. In the 7 games that we played in July, we allowed 16 goals. Over 7 games.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
The key thing to that would be to see how that compares to our expected goals allowed.
Okay.
If our expected goals allowed was like 25, then you could say, oh, he was playing great. But if it was only like 10, that's when you know it's kind of on him.
Sure. Let's move on. Next on this list would be Anibal Godoy. He is 34 years old, defensive midfielder. What do you guys think? Are we keeping Mr. Godoy, who's the author of the greatest goal this season and probably the highlight of our season?
Yeah, it pains me, but I have to say let him go.
Yeah, I agree.
It pains me because he's been one of our favorites since we joined MLS. I, for one, am very biased. I love a left-footed midfielder. Don't know what it is, but that left foot seems so sweet. So I've always loved watching him. He's a badass, obviously. He takes no shit from anybody. So I like that. But we got to get younger in that midfield. We just have to. And he can still find another job for sure. I mean, he's still the captain of the Panama national team.
Yeah, for sure.
Bye-bye.
Oh, man. All right, moving on. Now we're going to get even to a higher tier. So we're getting to a player that makes $700K a year. There's only 2 left now whose contract expires at the end of this year. The second highest salary is Jack Mayer. He's 24 years old, center back. What do we do with this guy? We've had our ups and downs with him this year. What do you think?
I'm going to go ahead and keep him.
Yes.
Because he plays so well with Walker. And, I don't see Walker getting called up too much next season, maybe for the rest of his career. I don't know. But I think Jack is just a completely different player with Walker beside him. And at some point, you would have to expect that he will come into his own. Because he's only 24, right? Is that what you said, 24? So at some point, you would have to expect that he's going to learn enough from Walker and gain enough confidence that he can become that guy in the future.
100%. Keep him. He was the number 1 draft pick. He's got the talent. We've seen it. And pray to God that Walker Zimmerman stays healthy.
Yeah, there you go. All right. The person making the most on this list whose contract expires this year, he's 31 years old, center midfielder, and he's got an uncanny resemblance to the old man from Poltergeist 2. I'm talking, of course, about Sean Davis. What do we do with Mr. Davis?
Wish him well in the future.
Yeah. D for Davis, D for drop.
Yeah. He seems like the nicest guy in the world, and I think he had a good first season with us when he first joined, and it hasn't been the level that he needs to be the last 2 years.
All right. Well, we're dropping more than we're keeping for sure if you guys are running things. So if that's the case, guys, we've got a lot of work to do in the off season. Mike Jacobs has got a lot of pencil sharpening to do to try and figure out who is going to be on this team next year and how we're going to field a competitive roster. So he and Callahan, they probably should start getting to work and talking about it right away.
I would have expected that they've been on it for a while. Probably before they even announced him. I bet BJ was like, all right, dude, you got to sign this guy. You got to sign this guy. Give him a list because I don't know why else he would have taken the job.
Yeah. You would expect that he's going to have significant input to the roster.
Yeah.
So was there anybody's name that I didn't mention that you wish their contract was expiring this year? Who would be your number 1 pick for that?
Till Bunbury?
Yeah, Till.
Really?
Is Till under contract?
Yeah, he's still under contract. He's still. Let me see. He's good through the end of next year.
Oh, my goodness.
So I'm going to have to make a confession here to you boys. I actually did not watch very much at all of the last 2 games.
Lucky you.
Well, I've watched the highlights and everything, and I noticed so I'm asking you guys, was it this most recent game against Philly where he got the start at striker? Is that right? And
yes,
Sam played over on the right.
Against New England?
Excuse me, New England. That's right. Yes, I'm sorry, New England. So what was going on there? I think he got the start up top with Sam over on the right wing this time.
That's correct. Hani was behind him. Sam's on the right and Schaffelberg on the left.
So first of all, how did Teal get that nod? Second of all, how did he do?
I don't remember him being on the field. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, it was a very unmemorable performance. Surridge, he had his goal. He was involved.
Yeah.
Schaffelberg, to me, looked like the best player on the team. And Yazbek had his moments, and I didn't see Mukhtar much, and I didn't see Bunbury at all. I don't recall him being involved in any important plays, really.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's stunning to me that Till is through next season. I can't believe he wasn't on a series of 1-year contracts. Yeah,
he is 34 years old, and he is signed through the end of 2025. So I'm surprised that neither one of you said Randall Leal as your pick that you wish was
Is he still expiring. On the team?
He is.
He's a boy in gold?
And he makes the 3rd or 4th most on the entire team. Let me see here. Yeah, he's got the 4th highest contract.
Oh.
He makes $1 million a year.
Oh my gosh. Wow. You have just made me angry.
I keep holding out hope that Leal is going to suddenly turn into the guy I remember. And it's delusional. It's a complete delusion. It's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results.
I cannot believe
he's going to get
he makes
injured.
$1 million a year for what he does. That's like, wow.
Yeah, man. You think anybody would buy him at this point, though?
Not for that price.
Give us some of that GAM. If we can get some of that general allocation money.
It's going to be pennies on the dollar for what we're paying, you know? Yeah, tough one. No one mentioned Hani Mukhtar? You're not ready to let him go yet?
No. I have to have some kind of hope in my heart. I mean, he's the franchise.
Yeah.
He's the face of the franchise. Keep him.
Yeah, with a reset here with the new coach and everything, and with some new players to support him. And maybe if we can shift our expectations back for him as more of a playmaker as opposed to a goal scorer and start relying more on Surridge, on Schaff, maybe Boyd when he's back, that sort of thing. If we can shift that focus and convince Hani to play more in support, I think we could probably get him back producing again.
We definitely need to give him a shot under this new regime, a new strategy, see what can happen. Again, that's where the rest of these games this year, I think, are critical to see what can work for Hani. You know, where can we make the most of his talents? What combinations work the best? So he and Surridge and Tyler Boyd and Jacob Schaffelberg are all signed through the end of 2026. That's a great foundation.
Yeah.
Provided Schaffelberg doesn't get peeled off and taken to Europe. But those are all excellent, solid players, offensive players. They're all under 30 right now. So that's exciting to have that core kind of locked in for a few years to come. All right.
Yeah.
Great job, guys. Well done. We're not doing a best and worst this week because
it's all about bad.
Yeah. What else? I mean, how many times can we beat that drum? But I will give you the opportunity for a hot take. Would you like to do some Nashville hot takes?
Oh, I'm dying for a hot take.
Oh, wow.
All right, Let's do this. Nashville hot chicken takes. Okay, John, you're so excited. I'm going to let you go first.
I am so excited.
Yeah, what's your hot take?
This is a big one for me. All right. So I would say the morale, the mood amongst Nashville SC fans is pretty low at the moment. Guys, I'm on the Discord. I see everybody's post. I may be lurking most of the time. I mean, it's bad stuff out there. Nobody likes watching the team right now. My hot take is that right now, this moment for Nashville SC fans, these, as the band Chic said, are the good times. We have to embrace the team while it's losing. Just say, fuck it. I'm just going to be there for the team. I'm going to cheer them. I don't care if I have any expectation of winning. Because if you stick with them now, when they get good again, it's going to feel so much better.
Yeah.
Than if you were a front runner who found the team a few years ago when they were good and now you're like, I don't even want to watch them anymore. Don't be that guy. Be the fan that sticks with them. And I'll give you 2 examples in my life. I am a New York Knicks fan, and I'm not ashamed to say it. So right off the bat, that's like 50 straight years of being terrible.
Correct.
But like we started to get a little bit good last year, and it felt really good. I paid for League Pass a few years back to watch a team that went 15-67.
Yeah.
But it feels good because, I stuck with them. If you stick with a team when it's bad, you always have this with your significant other too. You're like, if you ever doubt me being faithful, I just pull out that lineup card from the 2017 Knicks. And like, I watch this fucking team every day. Do you think I'm going anywhere? I'm not going anywhere.
It's a great point.
And then the other one in my life, my dad is a huge Vanderbilt athletics fan. And so in our family, it was all Vanderbilt. And, in baseball, they're pretty good. Basketball, sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. But this guy cheers for Vanderbilt football.
Ugh.
I remember a particular game he took me and my brother to, and I'll tell you, it was November 26, 1994, and Vanderbilt was playing Tennessee. Tennessee had a freshman quarterback by the name of Peyton Manning, and I think it was 52-0 at halftime, Tennessee.
Oh, my God.
And it was a raining, cold, miserable day. And we sat there till the end. It was 65-0 in the end.
Why? Why do you do this to yourself?
Because when Vandy finally had a few winning seasons a few years later, guess how good my dad felt? Really good. Because, I mean...
Because they went 500?
No, they had a few years. They made a bowl game or two. It wasn't a big deal.
Fair enough.
Yeah, just standards. So, yeah.
It's all perspective.
Stick with the team right now. Have fun with it. Wear a paper bag to the games. Who cares? Just embrace that we're a shitty team right now, and someday we'll be good again. Unless we turn into the Chicago Fire and go like 20 seasons in a row, which could happen, I guess.
Well, I completely agree with you. I agree that winning and victory are so much more joyful when you suffer through the bad times. So now is a great time for the fan base to band together, to lean on each other, to be supportive of one another. Make the game days that party atmosphere that we've been talking about all season. Let's have some fun with this shit. Let's go to the tailgates. It's about to be nice again outside and not just devastatingly hot. So let's get to some tailgates. Let's party down. Let's do some shot skis.
Yes.
Just have a great time, play some music, whatever. Let's march into that stadium and scream our heads off and go hoarse cheering for a team that may lose 2-0. But nonetheless, we'll have a great time with each other while we're doing it. So I agree. Let's all hang in there. Let's enjoy the hilarity of Soccer Moses, all that good stuff that comes with the game days. Let's just embrace it and have some fun. I love that. I love that hot take, John. It's a good, hopeful, wholesome hot take. I love it. Evan, have you got a hot take on your side?
Yeah, I do. I'm going to build on John's hot take. I'm going to take that fire that he just lit and I'm going to light a firecracker and throw it. Okay, here's my hot take. You ready?
Sure.
We're about to go on a 4-0 run and be solidly in playoff position. Look, here's our next 4 games, boys.
Okay.
Austin, 10th place in the West. Okay. Orlando, 7th in the East, and there's no way they beat us twice in one season. That's not happening.
Forget it.
Atlanta 9th in the East, and then Chicago, which I don't even have to tell you, Chicago sucks.
Yeah, I think they might be last, right? I think they might be last.
They're next to last. They're 14th.
Okay.
BJ's going to have this little mini preseason here, and he's going to put it together. He's going to get the vibe back. And guys, we're about to go 4-0 in the next 4 games.
I love it. God, I so hope you're right.
That would be a lot of fun.
Evan, you're the pickle on my hot chicken take.
Yes. That may be the best thing anybody's ever said to me.
I love that too. I'm all for it. Let's do this. Let's have a winning streak. Let's usher in the BJ Callahan era with some solid wins. That sounds great. All right, guys. Well, I've got one other idea I wanted to maybe throw to you all. We didn't do best of the past week or an all hell yeah and all hell no meant for the soccer team. But I was thinking maybe we should do all hell yeah and all hell no for the Olympics moments. So you guys down for some of that?
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, let's do this. It's all hell yeah Olympics edition. Okay, you want me to go first? I'll go first.
Yes, you go first.
All right. With all due respect to Mr. Steph Curry, that was fucking fantastic what he pulled off yesterday. But my all hell yeah moment goes to Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone, who won gold in the women's 400-meter hurdles.
Oh yeah.
American. She might have put on the greatest athletic performance in the entire Olympics. She blew the field away in this race, guys. There was no one even close to her. And then she was in the women's, I think it was 4x400 relay. And she blew away her leg of that race as well. And they ended up winning gold as a result of her performance. She was amazing. Let me tell you something else about this lady. In 2019, I think it was, she missed out on a medal at the World Championships. And I don't know if she got injured or if she defaulted or something like that. But since that time, she has set the world record for 400 meter hurdles 6 times.
Oh, shit.
Crazy.
Including this Olympics.
Amazing.
She just keeps breaking her own record. She is a class unto herself. She's amazing. And for my money, she was America's greatest Olympian this time around. So hats off to Sydney McLaughlin-Lavroni. She was terrific. Terrific.
She was terrific.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, Sydney. All right, Evan, what's your oh, hell yeah moment?
Okay. My oh, hell yeah moment was Cole Hawker's stunning upset in the 1500 meter for gold.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys saw this. Had you ever heard of Cole Hawker before this?
No.
Not.
No, because everybody was talking about Josh Kerr from Great Britain and Jacob Ingebrigtsen or something to that effect from Norway. And if you saw that race, you may have noticed, if I remember correctly, Kerr was making his move on Ingebrigtsen, and Ingebrigtsen is kind of running out of gas, and he kind of drifts to the right, maybe hoping to slow Kerr down. And as he does, Cole Hawker sneaks inside, puts on the blast, and wins gold. And I was just like, oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
That was awesome.
I did see that. We had a bunch of photo finishes in track and field, and it was a lot of fun to see. That one was specifically a really fun one. And again, an unexpected winner too. So good job there. All right, John, what's your oh, hell yeah moment from the Olympics?
My oh, hell yeah moment. Well, we are a soccer podcast. So, of course, I'm going to give my moment to Mallory Swanson with a 57th minute goal to give the U.S. women's national team the gold medal. Oh, hell yeah.
Oh,
ladies,
hell yeah. Yeah.
How good are the American women? I mean, every time. I know we didn't play as well as we wanted to in the last World Cup, but, I mean, they do us proud every time. They're a fantastic dynasty for like 30 years now.
They are so good. And wouldn't it be amazing if we got a women's professional team here in Nashville and maybe have 1 or 2 of those national team players signed to our club?
Did you know that we're going to?
Well, I saw something. I think you
the rumors,
was it you who posted some. Yeah, I think I saw something. Maybe a rumor you posted to our chat group. Has something happened since then?
I haven't heard anything, but I do know, I think Geodis Park had an announcement for a women's team coming. I can't remember, September or October. So, yeah, that'll be incredible. They're inspirational. I coach my kids' soccer teams. Every time the best players on the team are girls. And I'm telling you, in America, the girls dominate soccer. And so I cannot wait if that NWSL team comes through to be cheering on them as well.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. That would be a lot of fun to go to those games as well. All right. Do you guys have some oh hell no moments from the Olympics as well? John, why don't we stick with you? Why don't you go ahead?
Yeah. Well, mine's not so much as a hell no as a hell whoa. And I'm going to go with Ray Gunn, the Australian breakdancing woman.
Oh, okay.
Have y'all seen her?
No.
So breaking was a event for the first time in this Olympics, and I was very excited about it. I love breakdancing. I love breakdancing since I was a kid. It's the finest American art form to me.
It's a bold statement.
My favorite movie of all time is Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Sure.
I have tattoos on both of my ass cheeks. One is Adolfo Shabadoo Quinones, and one is shoot, I forgot it. What is that?
Do you need to go look in the mirror real quick?
Boogaloo Shrimp. And they were the 2 stars of Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo, of course. You know, my whole life, I've actually been trying to write a book. I've been trying to write the Great American Breakdancing novel. I'm only a few pages in.
Sure.
Yeah, but anyway, so breaking is in the Olympics, so I was very excited. But this Australian woman, what was cool, the athletes went by like their breaking name. So, like, I can't remember what the American lady, I think she was like Positronics or something. It was awesome. But the Australian lady was named Ray Gun.
Mm-hmm.
And poor girl, she was not very good at breakdancing. And she's become an internet meme. I cannot believe someone got up in front of the whole world and did this style of breakdancing. Y'all have got to look up the video if you haven't seen it, because it is the funniest and saddest thing I believe I've ever. It is probably the worst Olympic performance since Eddie the Eagle. You remember that guy? The ski jumper who like broke his neck or whatever. Y'all are going to have so much fun when you look up Ray Gun. It's going to be the highlight of your day.
Oh, man. Okay. I'm going to definitely check that out. All hell no, Ray Gun. All right, Evan, what's your all hell no moment from the Olympics?
Oh, I guess it's the men's national team underperforming. We obviously had high hopes for this younger crew, and it seemed like they might have had some potential, and then they petered out. And losing Zimmerman to that, it was all for naught. So, yeah, that's my all hell no moment.
Yeah, disappointing, but I don't know that we expected much more than what they did anyway.
Did y'all see what Walker Zimmerman said, though, after the game?
No.
His comments. Well, he was saying the main positive from being in the Olympics is the idea of teaching some of the younger players that it's an honor to play for the national team. And this is his quote. I think to some degree we've gotten away from that and feel like just because we're whoever you are that you can get just called in. That stuff pisses me off. I think guys need to, every time they put on the jersey, I don't care how talented you are, you want to play with pride, and I think we have the characters to do it, but we don't always do it. So a lot of people were taking that he was criticizing some of the senior national team players. I wish I knew who, because I mean, that's some juicy gossip. But hearing that, I wonder if he thinks that same thing about any NSC players.
I was going to say, no wonder we miss him on the last month, right?
Exactly.
I mean, you can tell that he takes his job very, very seriously. He is fiery on the field. And so, yeah, we've been missing him, obviously.
Yeah, we miss that kind of leadership and holding people accountable.
Yeah.
All right, so I have a couple of all hell no moments from the Olympics I want to share.
Yes.
One is on its surface an all hell no moment, but I think it's really an all hell yeah moment, actually. So, French pole vaulter Anthony Ammirati.
Oh, no. Here we go.
Who unfortunately lost out on a medal in the pole vaulting competition because his endowment, his male endowment was such that it knocked the pole off of the stands or whatever. Unfortunate. He's trained for years to get to this moment and to try to get a medal. But then again, is he really a loser?
I know, exactly. He might have lost a medal, but I'm sure he gained a lot of fans.
Yeah.
A lot of only fans.
Very good. Very good. But my real all hell no moment is the damn 4x100 men's relay U.S. team who cannot get their act together, and they dropped the baton pass in that race. I mean, we've got the fastest humans on the planet, and we just cannot win this race to save our lives. Let me run through it for the last 5 Olympics for you guys, okay? In 2008, they dropped a baton during the exchange, so they lost out on a medal there. 2012, they got the silver medal, but then they were stripped of that honor because of a doping case.
Okay.
In 2016, they were disqualified for passing the baton outside of the handoff zone.
Man.
And then in 2020, they failed to make the final because of a bad exchange. So they didn't even make it into the final round. And then, of course, in this Olympics, again, they're in the finals. Some of the fastest guys we have. And once again, they botched the baton exchange and lost out on a medal. That belongs to us, that medal. And they just cannot get their act together. Carl Lewis went to social media to call them out and call out the whole men's track program. I mean, that's coming from somebody who knows a thing or two. We were missing Noah Lyles in that race because he came down with COVID and wasn't able to participate. Still, that's my real all hell no moment for the Olympics. So unfortunate.
It's pretty weird too, because we're America. we're the only country on earth that plays American football. And what do? They hand off.
Yeah.
How come we can't do handoffs?
Right.
Come on.
Anyway.
Well, American football has shifted to more of a passing game. Maybe they can
That's
just
true.
start passing that baton to each other.
Would they allow such a thing?
Forward pass, yeah.
Let's find out. What have we got to lose?
At this point, nothing.
Let's just rewrite the rules and make it our own sport.
Well, just to sum it up, because I love the Olympics. I don't know. Did you guys enjoy the Olympics?
Loved it.
It was
Absolutely loved it.
It was so much fun. And of course, I'm very proud of the United States. We came out on top in terms of the overall medal count. I know we ended up with the same amount of gold medals as China, again, thanks to our women's basketball team for a 1-point victory in the final moments of that game.
Yeah.
But that put us in a tie with China for the most gold medals. But overall medals, let me just run it down. Okay. Top 5. Australia had 53. France, the home country, had 64. Great Britain, 65. China gets in there with 91. And the United States of America had 126 medals in your face, Earth.
USA, and I'm proud to be an American.
Holding up my lighter. Yeah, man. We dominated. We're awesome. America's number one.
Yeah, baby.
That's all I got to say about that. Dropping the mic, put the flame out. See you in LA.
See you in LA. Let's go ahead and start saving now, boys. For a month out in Los Angeles in 4 years.
Let's start practicing so I can get in the breaking competition.
Do it, man.
What's your breaking name?
Oh, shit.
I can't believe you, as such a breakdancing fan with tattoos on your ass and writing the novel, you don't have your own breaking name.
I'll go with J-Dubs.
J-Dubs. Okay, sure. Man, yeah, love the Olympics. Hate that they're over, but good on the Americans for the performance that they had. It was terrific.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, with that, it's probably time to do a weekend preview. Okay, you guys ready for that? Let's do the weekend preview. Okay, that was the weekend preview. So there's no game and nothing happening. The boys in gold need to get on the practice field and start working on how to get Hani Mukhtar in some scoring positions. So that should be job number 1 for BJ Callahan. Do you guys have any predictions or suggestions for what the team needs to be working on and what we can hopefully see for the next several weeks and as we start to acclimate to our new coach? Any thoughts, John?
Yeah. Walker Zimmerman passes to Yazbek. Yazbek passes to Hani. Let's work this route. This is the route forward to me because Yazbek seemed to really connect. He seemed to be that glue in the midfield against New England that we haven't seen since Dax left. So I've really got high hopes that he's going to be the center of good things going forward.
It is the Silk Road of goals for an SC.
Yeah.
All right. I like that idea. What about you, Evan? Any thoughts or suggestions going forward?
Yeah, I actually, I alluded to it earlier, and I really do genuinely think this. I really do think it's time to start shifting the focus away from Hani as a goal scorer. I actually think the Silk Road needs to ultimately end with Sam.
Yes.
And I think maybe Schaffelberg is actually the key. The goal that they scored against New England is probably a preview of what maybe one of our best, if not our best, options or attempts, which is utilizing Schaff's speed and ability to cross the ball with some of these new players complementing Hani, Yazbek, Perez. I didn't get to see him play, but with high hopes. And then Boyd when he's back. And then ultimately looking for Super Sam. So that's what I think.
On paper, we've amassed some pretty good talent, especially up front. Let's start to really use them. Let's see what we've got here. And Schaffelberg, man, I just think I said it at the beginning of the season, and I was maybe a little premature with some of my prediction around his scoring and stuff, but he absolutely looks like the best player on the team right now. I mean, Walker Zimmerman aside, when he's there, he's the best player. But Schaffelberg just is making things happen. He's putting pressure on other teams like no one else is. And I think you're right, Evan. I think we're working through Schaff for our main offense going forward. It'll be nice to see. All right, guys. Well, I'm out of beer, so I guess we're going to wrap this up. It's been an exciting and fun podcast. I've really enjoyed it. I'm so glad we're back.
Yeah.
Electric Gold is back.
Got that right, baby.
What you can probably expect if you're an avid listener is we probably won't do a show next week, but we will pick up after the game against Austin, and we'll be back to our regular schedule after that and finish out the year. So look forward to it. Thank you all for listening. John, you want to let people know how they can reach out and get in touch with us?
Absolutely. On Instagram and on what used to be Twitter, now X, we are Electric Gold NSC. Follow us, like us, talk to us. We'd love to hear from you. We would especially love to taste your homebrewed beer. And then we also are on Facebook as well. Just give us a shout, man. Give us a 5-star. Like and subscribe, as the kids say. And we'll keep going. We'll keep being NSC dudes.
We also have a Spotify playlist where we add songs and any sort of pop culture references that we make during the podcast. The list has gotten quite large now. I mean, it's a playlist that can go on for hours, and it's going to keep you entertained all day and night. And I imagine there's going to be some hit songs from Electric Boogaloo that make the list now going forward.
The whole soundtrack.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you, John. Thank you guys for joining us for another fun episode. Really enjoyed it. And of course, thank you all for listening. In the meantime, our commitment has not wavered. Stay firm in your support of the boys in gold. They're going to need it. Keep showing up, keep cheering them on, and keep on saying it. Come on, you boys in gold.
Come on, you boys in gold.
Overall medals, let me just run it down. Okay. Top 5. Australia had 53. France, the home country, had 64. Great Britain, 65. China gets in there with 91. And the United States of America had 126 medals. In your face, Bert. Shit, I messed that all up.
Do it again.
Okay.